I remember we used to talk about Andre. Andre was one of the boys in the locker room. Outside of the locker room, he wasn't. He was
miserable.
Miserable.
Right.
But inside the locker room, there was a comfort level. So we'd look at the chart, see who we're working with. We'd get ready to go, and boom, we'd have fun.
Right.
We went into the ring with the idea that we're going to have the best match we can possibly have.
I remember some of the times going out with Andre at night. Oh, Jesus.
What were they like?
Andre, everybody knows Andre liked to drink, and Andre was very gracious. He never let us pay. It upset us because I'm not a sponge. Barry's not a sponge. If we're going to have a couple drinks, you can buy a couple drinks. He'll buy a couple of them. But Andre gravitated to the guys that he liked. He either liked you or he didn't like you.
Right.
And I'm not a big drinker, and Barry's not a big. I can have 4 or 5 beers. At that time, we were just talking last night. We got into a mode where every night, but you're sweating and working out. We're drinking 5, 6 beers every night, and then you go home and you get 5 or 6 beers, and my wife would say, "Do you drink like that all the time?"
No.
And then I start thinking, we do.
Right, right.
But Andre, 5 or 6 beers is just the appetizer. And of course, he'd be out there all night. I mean, it was pleasant being around him. But
Remember when we took him out for his birthday in Paris, France?
yeah,
We took him to the wine he drank was Beaujolais wine. That was his favorite.
Right.
And we were in Paris, France, and we rented a van, and Bill and I took him to the Beaujolais winery. Boy, you remember he had tears in his eyes. Nobody ever did that. Boy, did we have a lot of wine.
Machines. What are your memories of working with Andre when he was a machine?
oh, it was fun. That all came out as. I'll tell you the story where it developed. We were going back and forth to Japan. I was there about 14 weeks a year, and we had just finished a tour, and the next tour we're coming back was 2 weeks later. Well, we went back and we met at the Kyo Plaza Hotel. That's where all the guys from New Japan stayed. And Andre called me up to the hotel room. He says, "We've got a situation here." They had a big team, a popular team that they were pushing called the Machines.
Right.
Their manager had stayed, and 2 team members jumped to Bubba's group, and they didn't know what to do. So Andre suggested that, well, everybody knows Superstar, and everybody knows me. We'll be Super Machine and Giant Machine. We have the manager, and the manager would go on every day, and he'd challenge the other team. They're chickens, they ran away. I have a newer, stronger version, a bigger team. And it was fun. He liked it. I mean...
Did you come over then and have little machine and medium machine?
Oh, we had machines. We had schmo machines. We had then we got Mulligan, and he was the big machine.
Right.
And it was supposed to be a lark. Everybody was supposed to know who we were. I thought everybody knew who we were, and I think that they did. But I get requests sometimes on the email to explain this. Well, why did you do that? It's a lark. It was supposed to be fun. I mean,
right.
If you can't tell Andre, then we had the Hulk machine, the Piper machine. It was a gimmick.
Right, right.
That was supposed to last 4 to 6 weeks. People don't remember that Andre was filming The Princess Bride at that time. So he left. That's why we brought in the big machine.
And I just, speaking of Andre selling, I just saw on the internet, you and I against Baba and Andre and Toka. Did you ever see that one on the internet?
I've seen it years ago, yeah.
Andre, unbelievable how he sold.
Yeah.
Holy cow, does he sell?
Yeah.
And he is the biggest guy in wrestling. If he can sell, anybody should be able to sell.
Right.
I worked with him many, 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 many times, especially as Mass Superstar, against him and with him. And I'd have him in a Cobra hold, and he looks like he's going out, and people are screaming for him to get out of it. They forgot that he was 7 foot tall. They just involved in the match. And you see it not only those guys, but you see it all the time. Just because you're pumped up on the weights doesn't mean you're invincible, for God's sakes. Somebody hits you in the throat, somebody gouges your eyes, you better register.
Huh.
Yeah.
Sure.
A funny story, I was playing cribbage with Andre one day, and we just had a match with him a couple days ago, and Andre looks at me and goes, you need to lay your punches in a little harder. And I said, really? He says, yeah, lay him in. I said, okay, well, we'll do that tonight then. So we're out in the match, and I was making a comeback on him, and I nailed him. And I mean, I hit him hard. I hit him right in the lip, and his lip went, he looks at me and he goes, not that hard. That was that heart attack.
Yeah. You don't want to get him mad at you.
Yeah, and it was just like, oh my God. Next thing I know, he's standing on my hair, lifted my arms up, pulled my hair out of my head.
Thing.
That's why I'm bald. 'Cause
Well, you were talking a little bit about Japan. You wrestled Baba and Andre in Japan in a tag match.
Right.
What was what do you remember of that match?
I remember when Axe and I got in the ring, and here comes Andre and Baba, and that's really, I think it was the first time they were teamed up together, the two giants.
I think so too.
So, I mean, that's the biggest match of my life. I mean, it don't get any bigger than that. That's like Hulk and Andre.
Yeah, two legends.
Yeah. And the crowd it was a standing ovation for Andre and Baba when they came in.
Wow.
And normally they don't really pop like that. Normally they're real quiet until something happens and then they pop.
Yeah.
Well, it was standing ovation all the way to get in the ring. And I remember me and Bill were in the corner, and I said, Bill, you start. And he goes, no, Barry, you start. And I said, let's do the paper, rock, scissors, you know. And I said, Jesus, I lost. So I had to start the match.
Yeah.
And Bob was in there. And I said, Bill, what do I do? He goes, just try to hit him or something, you know. So I went in there, and I threw him in the ropes, and I gave him a chop, and it was, the whole place echoed.
Wow.
And the people just went, I mean, came unglued.
Yeah.
Because nobody's ever hit Baba that hard before. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I went back to Bill, and I said, Bill, what was that deal for? He goes, nobody's ever hit Baba before. You know, you're the first one, or some, you know, some goofy thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everything that you did to him, they just came unglued. And
Wow.
in Japan, they don't normally do that.
Yeah.
You know, so it was pretty exciting.
Wow.
What about Kerry Von Erich? What do you remember working with Kerry?
God, he was easy to work with, wasn't he?
Yeah.
What a nice guy he was. I couldn't believe when he killed himself there. That was terrible.
He was a little
Terrible.
space. He was a little out the strange, different.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a different drummer out there, but
Once he lost his foot,
yeah.
that was a real downfall, because I think the painkillers and all that stuff.
And I think he was all
and-
self-conscious about
Yeah.
somebody noticing it.
Exactly. Because, I mean, he was like a Greek god, his body.
Right.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And to have something like that happen to him, I think that really, really affected him.
What about memories of your wrestling, I guess, the main event against Hogan on a pay-per-view at Survivor Series? What are your memories of that match? I think it was, I don't know what Survivor Series it was, but...
Oh, as a tag?
Yeah.
He was our partner.
He was your partner?
Yeah, he was our partner. It was,
And with Jake the Snake.
him and Jake and us against
That's when Jake brought in that
Zeus.
30-foot snake
Oh,
or whatever.
Jesus.
And
Nobody
Jesus.
we couldn't pick it up.
Well, you walked into the shower.
Chicago.
Yeah, you walked into the shower, and the dang snake would come up with the teeth and everything. And
Yeah.
Hogan says, "There ain't no way we're carrying that out there."
Yeah.
And we had all four of us trying to carry that thing.
Oh, the
and,
thing was strong.
oh, it was unbelievable. But we didn't know ahead of time. All the guys, the Bulldogs and everybody, they'd kick it and take the bag and hit it and run hot water on it.
That
And
was
everything.
Zeus and I don't remember our opponents.
I don't remember either.
That was in Chicago.
Yeah.
Was it the Zeus, the Road Warriors, and somebody else? The Road Warriors weren't there yet.
No, they weren't. They wouldn't have been heels.
I don't remember.
But then it ended up being where they left the snake at the building in that box, and the janitor was supposed to load it and never loaded it. The snake got out and crawled up in the top
Jake told us
of
about that. Yeah.
the horizon.
That
They
was-
couldn't find it.
You know,
Oh,
I'm not
nasty.
afraid of snakes, but I don't like to be around them.
Right.
And when you was on the card with Jake, there was always a python in the shower.
Oh, jeez.
You never knew where it was going to be in the shower. You'd turn the water on so it would be wet, but you didn't know if it was going to the toilet. You're going to the bathroom and the snake comes underneath. You know, geez,
And
it was an eerie feeling.
Sometimes you see Jake coming, whoa, you know, he can't get the bag. You know, I mean, the dang thing was just nuts.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think he really liked snakes either. I think it was just.
I'll tell you one thing I would have never done. I would have never let them put the snake on me. If I was passed out,
Right.
and never done that.
He did to me.
That would have been my notice.
And then that one snake bit Andre in the arm. Remember, the teeth was in his arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the hell is this? You know, oh, there's a tooth in his arm. You know.